This episode of the Upper 90 Club is brought to you, as always, by Supporter Supply Company. Hi, friends, this is your good pal Morgan Hughes, here to talk to you about a serious issue facing 96% of all crew supporters in Columbus. Why, not enough free shipping, of course. For a limited time now, through the eventual heat death of the universe, Upper 90 Club listeners can use the promo code Upper90Boys. That's boys with a Z on the end of it, at checkout for free delivery on absolutely any order over $10. But Morgan, what if I order $10 worth of stickers, or those goddamned buttons, or some other combination of small items that make you want to kill yourself? Will the free shipping still apply then, even as you curse our family, while you package up our little tiny annoying ass order for us? Of course it will. That's just how much we here at Supporter Supply value our friends at the Upper 90 Club. So head on over to supportersupply.co and use the promo code Upper90Boys. That's boys with a Z at checkout for free shipping on all your orders over $10. And don't forget to tell them that your friends at the Upper 90 Club sent ya.
So far, the crew has cleared every hurdle naysayers have placed in their way. Columbus would be home to one of the 10 inaugural teams. Columbus has outperformed much larger cities. The true success indicator has been from the fans.
Well, it's boys' night out. And don't you know
Hello, welcome to the club. I'm your host, Mars. This is the Upper 90 Club. Roundtable podcast where five friends bask in the excellency, the supremacy, the insert superlative here of the Columbus crew. Welcome one and all. Ben, Mort, Trey, and Haas are here with me.
Of the hat!
Also, Macho Man Randy Savage is here. That's Ric Flair.
Are you the guy that yells? Is that you?
I'm the guy that yells.
I'm the guy that yells.
On this episode, we're gonna go pretty heavy on the League's Cup recap.
Too heavy.
We are going to talk about the upcoming game. I mean, God, there's been so many games. I feel like there's been so many games that we haven't really even been able to pod all of them here. But
Stressed out.
We
thinking
only
about
missed
it.
one. That's amazing.
well, I was surprised. Yeah, I
Really?
feel like it's been
Yeah.
2
Wow.
weeks since we did a podcast.
Nope.
but,
Since you did a podcast, we did one
burn.
last week.
you guys did one last week.
We did. Good to know you listen.
Yeah. Wait. Nobody even told me about it.
You bailed. You were on
We
a
posted
plane.
it
I didn't
online.
bail. No, I know. Like every Sunday, I got up. The sky was blue.
Was it?
I put on my Viking helmet. I went outside around the evening time.
buffalo helmet.
I just texted Mort my prediction, like I always do. And then I did my Wordle and went to sleep. And
We know
I
you
never
did
heard
your
from you.
Wordle. I know that because we were potting and it was beeping.
Yeah,
Nailed it.
Everything I just said was from last week.
100%.
Okay, so
Killer joke. Was that the joke? Was that the one that you were
Is that
talking
the, that's the one we've been waiting for.
and I'm proud to report that was the joke I've been waiting to tell.
Yes.
based off
So
of
congratulations. The wait is finally over, and so is our wait to see our team raise this prestigious trophy, the legendary second inaugural League's Cup.
Was it-
glad to see Don Garber in attendance last night.
Watching him
But,
give a trophy to us is like
Oh, the memes are
my
fantastic.
favorite thing of
So-
all time.
So we're gonna talk about the League's Cup. We're gonna start to see the end of the season begin here. Gosh, I can't believe how much we saw our team flourish this time of year last year. So hopefully we can
it hasn't
repeat. I think we're gonna
stopped.
play about twice as many games because of all the rescheduled games that we've missed because we're too busy winning tournaments.
We have another final too coming up.
That's what
too.
Cucho said. Yeah. So we'll do our predictions. We do have a winner for our League's Cup prediction challenge. So we're gonna give away some glasses and then rocks glasses with the logos, and then we're gonna reboot that challenge for the end of the season here. We're gonna do it all. So without further ado, great to be back, guys. And I'm sure y'all were at the game last night. I saw some video evidence of that.
What
Tell
was
me about
the
it.
video evidence that you saw?
Dude,
Because I just saw it because everybody was making fun. You're like, dude, that thing is for when you were yelling, and I was like, I didn't see the video.
Oh, the video is great.
Yeah, we should
it's
post
pretty
it on. We should post that little clip on
Twitter.
X.
So
Yeah.
I think I was there, and I was brought the whole family. And the funny part with this game was the fact that I did mention that we might have had Nordic tickets. Stacy doesn't really know what that entails, first of all. So we get there, and I kind of walk straight over to the area we usually hang out, and she's like, "Okay, where are we sitting?" I was like, "Well,
Funny about that.
about that, we're not sitting anywhere." So she's like, "What? Like we're not sitting anywhere?"
She can run 50 miles, but she can't stand for
she's a little
90
bougie.
minutes.
It was more about the kids, but we had friends that found space and put them somewhere.
Yeah.
So
Good.
Yeah. What did the people? Who gave them the seats that were up there? Was it the event people?
it was Justin that was sweet talking the Haas's friends to let him sit down there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, man.
probably
Yeah,
slipped,
Haas,
it
were you
probably
able
slipped him
to,
$20 or something.
Yeah, 100%. He slipped him money.
Haas made
Haas,
friends with the experience.
Yeah, I was going to
people.
say, were you able to make it through this match without causing trouble? I know historically, when famous French footballers are in the house, Thierry Henry specifically,
Sit
you grow more unruly. How was your evening?
It was a pretty good time. No issues with the event staff. The event staff were on my side in the situation that
French.
occurred.
Just switch it.
Okay, all right. And then Ben, yeah, we saw you were. I can't believe you can talk.
Oh, I was, yeah. Today when I was talking to people, I was like, I was screaming, man. Yeah, I was just yelling.
It is
like, the
fun
entire
to
thing.
go with the game when Ben shows up. First of all, like people come to him. He's like a magnet for people that want to talk, and he's standing there like
dude
talking,
magnet.
like it's like a revolving door of dudes coming over, just talking.
That was my name in middle
talking.
school.
So
Yeah.
he knows people, and people just want to talk to him. He's an interesting guy. So
Well, Rex was there, and and Tommy came, and he was hitting me up. He's the
Scars
the
with legs.
Atlanta.
Is he in
Scars.
Cleveland?
Yeah, he came down. He had a press pass. It was cool. Beforehand, we stopped by Ted's, the Montana Ted's, right?
Ted's Montana.
Yeah,
Grill.
for a to-go beverage.
And there was a bunch of like the whole place was packed, and they were all crew people. I was like, dang, I haven't seen it this packed ever. And there was a bunch of kids there, so I was like handing them our wristbands. And there was this couple behind us, and they're like, "Oh, we want some too." And so I gave it to them, and they're like, "Oh, thanks." And I was like, "Yeah, we got this says Upper 90 Club on them in the inside, whatever." And then the guy was like, "I know, I listen to you guys." I was like, "Oh, that's really cool." And his wife goes, "Which one of y'all scream a bunch?" And I was like, and it was just me talking to them, and I was like, well, that's me.
I'm the
That's
screamer.
100% me.
I'm the screamer. What did we call you earlier? Yeah, something like that. All right. And Trey, did you make it?
I did not. I watched it at home with the kids, enjoying pizza and hanging out.
I met
Yeah.
Haas's brother randomly in the line, and he was the one kind of recognizing me. He's like, "Hold on, are you?" He looked at the back of my shirt because it said Upper 90. It's like, "Are you bored?" It's like, "Yeah." It's like, "I'm a Haas." I was like, I could see the second he saw it. The second he saw
I'm a
it, he said it. I knew it before he said it. I was like, "Yeah."
Did you guys say it at the same time? Like,
Pretty
and
much.
you both were like, Haas.
pretty much? And then we high
Statistic-
fived.
Yeah, I mean,
And then we talked-
statistically though, it's not that uncommon to run into a Haas. Like,
And then I asked
The
him.
Mormon
Cheaper by the
Tabernacle.
dozen. Yeah.
Anyways, that was it was very nice. But then I didn't see him for the rest of the night, so he tried to avoid you. I think after that.
He stayed in the Nordic, yeah.
Oh, did he?
I don't blame him. It was rocking, man.
Dude,
Yeah.
What?
yeah.
A game.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Facts that could save your life.
Sunday, August 18th. Mars is traveling home from California while we watch the team win. But the day that we're actually talking about. Sunday, August 24th, 2024, at the friendly confines of lower.com, the crew faced off against LAFC in the final of the League's Cup tournament. A reported 20,190 black and gold fans showed up to again watch the OG 96ers dominate LA's best team. Crew with the shot advantage. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I won't interrupt the stats. Go ahead.
No, okay. Crew with the shot advantage of 12-9, possession of 62 to 38%, passing accuracy of 86% to 72 for LAFC. In fact, the only meaningful stat the LAFC led in was fouls with a 20-8 advantage. And all the important and the all-important feels like stat of the game, XG, with Crew having an advantage of 1.28 to 0.31 for LAFC.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's weird too. It says big chances missed, and it was 0 for LAFC.
One in December,
but that counts.
And one in August.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing if you don't miss any big chances?
Well, that's why on FOTMob it circled that as like that's the better one because they had one big chance and nailed it. So like they win that. We had one big chance missed. They had 0, but they win because it's the smaller number.
Right.
But
yeah, and I pulled everything off of FOTMob. The actual stats at the end of the game were even more in favor of the Crew by a couple of percentage points. I mean, once again, just another dominating performance by this team.
I think they were going for big chances. You know, I could even hear Nancy in my head, like he's in the locker room, like we gotta. I'm not gonna do the accent, but you know, he's like, we gotta get those big chances, guys. That's the stat I want to see. Yeah. You know, like I can't wait to hear what new stats.
He's got to be bored at this point. He's like, someone score with their butt. Who wants the first person to score with their butt gets glasses, some rocks glasses. Looking at you, Rossi.
Oh man. Well, so I know you guys didn't bother to ask about my trip that I was on, but
hey, let me hear about your trip you were on.
You got any more
just
stats?
Real quick, I want to tell you that when I was flying to LA. We were playing it was the day we were playing Miami. But it was a game day, and I wore the shirt that Mort grabbed for me that said the original black and gold. So I was flying into LA with the original black and gold T-shirt on.
Love it.
And I'm glad to see how things shook out with our opponent here.
That's sweet.
Yeah, that's the shirt I landed on for the game. I changed a bunch. Even Haas saw me in the car. I was like outside the car, and the thing I brought 3 shirts. I was like, should I wear this one? I'm wearing the this guy. What's it called? The Hawaiian supporter supply shirt. Oh, yeah. I had that on, and I was like, I feel frumpy. And then I also had the basketball jersey, and I'm like, it'll probably get cold at night. You guys were like, what are you doing? That's probably why Daly was mad.
Okay, Haas, give us those lineups.
Let me tell you about my
starting
shirts.
lineup against LA. We had Ramirez, Cucho, Rossi, Arfston, Nagbe, Zawadzki, and Farsi. Amundsen, Camacho, Marrera, and Hagen in goal. It's a couple changes from the game against Philly with Amundsen stepping in for Chaberco and Hagen getting the start in the final, which I read today that he was told that during the semifinal, that he would be starting on Sunday, no matter if it was a third-place game or a championship game.
Which is
wild.
We're still rolling with Hagen, huh?
I am.
You know how the coach says it?
Nope.
Nico. All right.
So, moving into the game, you had Rudy Camacho earned an early yellow card in the 11th minute for a 50-50 studs-up challenge on Atuesta.
Not a foul.
Foul.
Yeah.
That was not a foul.
Foul.
Was it a foul?
It was a foul.
Okay. From up where I was at, I was like, that wasn't even a foul. I didn't have my glasses on.
It was a reckless challenge. You can't go studs up into a 50-50 like that. I mean,
I will mention
yellow.
there was a point in this game that we took Ben's glasses off his face and cleaned them because we saw how dirty they were, and Stacy kept commenting how dirty your glasses are, so we cleaned them.
It's crazy. I would talk to her, and she's like, "Stop talking to me because your eyes suck." And I'm like,
so speaking of Atuesta, in the 37th minute, he earned a yellow for a blatant shove on Nagbe out of frustration.
Is he
won about
20?
50 fouls on Nagbe, by the way.
Twisted his ankle in the same time.
Number
period.
20.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He had a horrible game.
So
he was
just losing his cool. I mean,
asshat.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the hat of asses. That's him.
Got to score with it.
Tip of the ass.
Trey, keep going.
45th minute. Haas, tell us
Just a
about
tip.
it.
Goal for Cucho. Rossi takes a corner kick that is cleared with a header from Giroud and falls to Farsi still in the offensive half of the field. He makes a move around a charging Atuesta, takes a touch forward and passes out wide right to Zawadzki. As the defender runs out at Zawadzki, it opens up a bunch of space in the box for Farsi to step into. Zawadzki plays the ball back to Farsi, who turns and lobs a pass across the box, where Rossi makes a run towards the 6 and drags a defender as Cucho runs up to Sanchez, launches into the air, and heads it to the far post past Lloris. Crew up 1-0, Cucho's third goal of League's Cup.
Dude, he was gonna score. I saw
He was
from
like,
where we were
nothing's
at-
going to stop me.
100%. I saw him coming like across the box, and I was like, "Oh, there's nobody's gonna get in that dude's way." Farsi's ball was disgusting.
Farsi, man.
Yeah.
No, in the pass where he passed it out to Zawadzki.
Zawadzki's fall back in is good.
And
Smart.
the space came about, and Farsi, I don't know what they thought Farsi was going to do, like backpedal or something. Like he just occupied that space, had nothing but time, placed the ball perfectly.
He admitted to Brianna McKay that he didn't know who he was playing the ball to, that he would just was playing
No,
it into
I love the
box.
ball.
to the
There was
back.
one of those
Yeah.
teasing ball that like left it up hanging.
There were
It was
three
like a
guys
hanging
in
ball.
there. Yeah.
Come and get it. It was like an alley oop.
It was
right?
that's
It's like-
what I was gonna
And the
say.
tallest man got it.
The guy standing
All
in
right.
front of us.
So-
All right, go.
So Crew goes into half up 1-0. Coming out of halftime, I know LAFC made one change. They brought off Atuesta, who was on the yellow card, and brought in O'Brien. And then in the 49th minute, Chanot with the yellow card for the sliding tackle on Cucho to prevent him from turning the corner into the LAFC box.
Yeah.
Probably a smart foul,
Yeah.
but it put their center back on a yellow for the remainder of the game. So 57th minute, LAFC with the equalizer. Haas, tell us about it.
Bouanga earns a corner from a deflected shot. Bogus takes an in-swinging corner where the ball finds Giroud between Moreira and Amundsen, where he heads it to the back post and in. 1-1. Camacho goes down during the corner, and it's reviewed to see if he was fouled, and they don't end up calling anything, and the goal's good.
Yeah,
Was
something-
he
I
fouled?
think-
No.
I didn't think so. We didn't
He
think so.
kind of
in
got
this stadium.
pushed.
I thought so. I mean,
Pushed and
look,
stepped on at the same time.
If I'm thinking about similar things that I've rolled my eyes at, they called that when Moreira kind of got in the way of
Oh,
Etienne.
a while ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
they called that a foul. I mean, I don't know. There was definitely contact on his back, and he got pushed down while the ball was in the air. I think if it was called a foul, it would have been fine. But I mean, the fact that there was a goal scored, and it was a final.
If he wouldn't have gone down, the goal still would have happened. He had no. He
Right.
wasn't.
Yeah,
the ball was
that's
over.
true.
If he would have been 6 feet back and actually been shoved by Giroud or the player right next to Giroud, I would agree with you. I'd be like, yeah, that impacted the
no
play
problem.
greatly. I just wouldn't
Yeah.
want to see
So
that
you
called
said
back.
he got shoved because he was down for a while, and we thought he was
He got-
dead.
I thought we had
Hollingshead
a
pushed him and I think stepped on him at the same time.
Okay, I thought he had a head injury because I thought he had like a concussion.
No,
Yeah,
he
he was
just
walking
down.
around
it
like he
looked-
was hammered.
If I remember it correctly, it was like a kind of like a forearm to the shoulder blades.
Okay.
It wasn't that bad. I mean,
So I
he
never
was
watched a
knocked
replay of this because I was, basking in watched the last like 5 minutes of the game like 10 times. So live, it looked like Hagen hesitated to go out and then backed off. But I think when I saw the replay, he probably
was
did
going
the
the
right
wrong-
thing, and he should have
Yeah.
actually gone up and because earlier in the game he had a
he has a
great
great
punch.
punch. Yeah.
But in this one, he seems like he makes a decision. He halfway out and then go back in. But in
Yeah,
the replay, it
he had
looks
to go
like he
back.
can't get to it anyways, right?
he made a couple of decisions to not come off his line fast enough. One was against Bouanga, and he got a knee on it and it went wide. And then the other one was against the other forward up top that actually ended up being offside. So that one didn't hurt.
Bogus?
us.
Oh, when he scored.
I
Yeah.
forgot
Yeah.
that they scored. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
He
That was in the
offside.
54th minute. Yeah.
Right. So I mean, he had a decent game. He didn't play great, but he didn't cost his team. So
No.
74th minute, Crew with 2 subs. They brought in Jason Russell Rowe for Christian Ramirez,
All right.
and Traburco came in for Camacho, who was on the yellow. Notable in the 78th, LAFC brought in Kai Kamaro for Giroud.
And they
Boo.
booed him.
Good.
Are we
Ooh,
booing
that
him?
man.
I don't know why. I don't like.
You do remember he
hate-
didn't give me the heart-shaped hand back.
Yes, I remember that.
Okay.
I
Petty.
am so glad that you said that because I forgot about that conversation and
The
it
heart
was
shape.
great.
Oh, I forgot how funny it was. Like,
Give me a half heart shape.
Do you
Half
remember
heart.
him?
What did
Give me
you
a half
say?
a heart.
I don't. No, I'm telling you, to all of you guys and to any listeners, just if you can search the transcript for heart shaped hand, just listen to that minute. It's like it is music. Listening to Trey get socially owned by Kai Kamara, and I think I'm going to do that later this evening. So thanks.
Didn't
for
he
reminding
fight with Higuain
So,
about taking a penalty?
you
and
give
all
yourself
that?
a heart
Yeah.
shaped hand.
Yeah.
He
I
did,
mean,
yeah.
What's the
I
reason
don't-
why he
I don't
travels from club to club to club to
Dude,
club? He's a
he's
great
been
player.
on like 15 teams. It's fine. I don't
Ooh.
hate Kai Kamara. He just is Kai Kamara.
He didn't like wink at your wife or anything.
No, he's not like a red hat wearing. mother.
Oh yeah. Let's not get into that. Let's hold
So,
that thought.
84th
We'll
crew,
hold it
crew
for
with two more
thoughts and prayers,
subs. Matan in for Zawadzki and Dewan in for Arfston. And then
The right
and then-
subs, man.
90
No, I'm looking at
plus
for,
2.
Yeah.
90 plus 2. Haas.
Goal for Cucho. LAFC clear a ball out to the sideline, and Matan gets a ball and plays a quick throw into Cucho on the left side,
Great.
where he has some space. He takes a few touches as he angles himself towards the box and crosses a ball towards the 6, where Jason Russell Rowe is making a run towards the near post. The ball floats over Russell Rowe, bounces at the goal line, and goes in as Larice is flat-footed and can't sort
was
out how
he
to make the
doing?
save.
The whole
I
thing
loved
was
how many
weird.
times they said on the call, like, this guy, he's been in big situations before.
Larice.
He's not going to need to worry about.
No, you
You know,
can't.
he's
you
the
can't
French
blame
goalkeeper. He's won the World Cup, but he watched that ball go in.
No, but
like,
you-
I know
you
he
can't
was
blame him. You can't-
anticipating someone
yeah.
was going to.
And you know, we had one earlier like that. We had a set piece, and I where it actually just
Kucher tried
got
to flick it. Yeah.
yeah, and it would have gone right in. If nobody touched that ball, it would have gone in. We had a couple from that angle actually. But watch Tillman, because Tillman is complaining to the ref, and it's like kind of still complaining after Kucher get the ball. He gets to him late.
Yeah,
He's
nobody
all he
comes
was
at him.
talking. Yeah, and he came in as a sub. He's fresh, but he came late.
Classic Tony Chani.
Yeah.
Cucho runs to the northwest corner and throws his shirt into the crowd.
We'll talk about that in a second.
Fourth goal in the League's Cup. He gets a yellow card.
Sports bra show.
and a new jersey.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a fresh.
No,
Pressure.
top.
yeah.
he never.
Yeah,
I don't
he
know.
said, I have no idea what happened to it. Luckily, they had an extra on the sideline. But
I
you see how
honestly-
Matan had it to him right away, too. Somebody must have
Yeah.
just handed him a new jersey and given
I
Go
think
give
the
him a
biggest
shirt.
part of
Did
this was.
Did he get a yellow card for that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
He did. Okay, I don't.
I think the
I don't
biggest
remember
part of
seeing
this
that.
was is Aaron Long played Russell Rowe and didn't play the ball, and I think that threw
Yeah.
Hugo off the play.
Yeah.
Hugo was thinking he was going to play the ball to try and deflect it or something, and he just bodied up Russell Rowe, and then that ball just landed right in front of him and went
He's
in.
like ultimate
think
fake
there
out.
were-
Man, it was crazy.
It was at least two defenders that went
Yeah.
with Russell Rowe.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it was out of nowhere. I was
but
not
nobody
ready
played the
for
ball.
it.
So
Yeah. It was
And
like
the ball
it went
just
in and it took like a
went-
second for the stadium to erupt because it was like, what?
Oh,
my
the camera!
God.
The camera went straight to Russell Rowe, like he had scored it, but then it was like, yeah, Kucha was already
He was already gone.
naked
Half
in the
naked
corner.
in the crowd.
Yeah. He was on High Street right outside Gala. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in the short
He
north, just like,
throws his shirt well into the stands.
Oh, yeah,
It's
it got-
very funny.
was it to one of the six younger gentlemen? They still haven't found it yet.
they put it on a flagpole and stole it.
Yep. All right. So 90 plus 4. Haas, the dagger in the heart of LAFC.
This is when I woke
As
all my
we were
sleeping
still
children up.
celebrating that goal.
Yeah.
As they were
Goal
doing
for-
the hammer.
Goal for Jason Russell Rowe. LAFC play a long ball forward that finds the head of Kamara. He heads it into the box where Chaburko is able to clear it towards Amundsen just outside the box. Amundsen heads it forward to Rossi in the center of the field, who first times it with his head forward to a wide open Cucho. It's a 2-on-1 breakaway with Cucho and Russell Rowe running at Aaron Long. Just before getting to the box, Long steps towards Cucho, who slides a pass to the right to just Jason Russell Rowe. Takes one touch into the box, shoots low and hard with his right foot. Pass Lloris, 3-1. Cucho's involved with all 3 goals.
What a night.
Oh, crap.
Dude,
oh, crap.
I know they interviewed Nagby after the game. Like, when was the loudest you ever heard the stadium? And he said the MLS Cup. That was the loudest I ever heard the stadium because everybody's on their feet already celebrating the last goal, and the build up to this. Like when the breakaway happens, it's as loud as a goal.
Yeah.
At that point, and it just gets louder and louder. I think I don't know about you guys. That's the loudest I ever heard that stadium.
My favorite part of this goal was Rossi's contribution, which he really didn't do much except for winning the header, and then he sprints the entire way, and he outruns that LAFC defender by a solid 10 yards. Which is at the end of the
Amundsen
game.
header. I mean, it was 3 headers in a row to get it to a breakaway. It was crazy.
Amundsen steps ahead there and get that head in is huge too.
Yeah, Diego just running like a T-Rex on cocaine.
Yeah, I think he wanted that goal to
Cocaine
get the
T-Rex
goal.
is the sequel to the Cocaine Bear.
No,
That's the next Jurassic Park.
So, so in the span of 12 months, so far, we haven't made it there. The Real Black and Gold have delivered 2 cup championships and an away victory at LAFC's home with a ridiculous goal differential of 10-3.
And we were one getting poisoned away from getting 3 cups.
Yep. So,
Yeah.
I mean, love or
Even
hate
now
the
I'm
Leafs
kinda
Cup.
like out of breath.
Love or hate the Leafs Cup, it delivered.
I think this is where I want to start after the break. Let's do that when we'll be right.
Bye, Trap.
Girls, come to story time. In the great green room, there's a telephone and a red balloon.
Dad, please don't do this. Goodnight Moon is for babies. It's a board book, dude.
Okay, fine. What's it gonna be? You guys pick.
Okay, we love this one.
Oh, A Massive Collection Volume 1 by Steve Sirk. You know, this is the first wide-ranging collection of his work. It features long-lost stories dating as far back as 97. It has a lot of popular favorites from over the years, too.
Well, what is Volume 1? Like it's quiet?
No, it means it's like the first of a larger set.
Oh, okay, so where's the next one?
Well, it's funny that you asked that because Volume 2 just came out. You can get it at Steve Sirk's website, circbook.com. It'll also be available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Links will be available at
We are not listening to you. Just go order it.
All right, we're back. So before we get into crew talk, we need to settle some scores here.
Yeah, let's talk about Viking versus Buffalo Hat.
No, I just want to
Bison.
weigh in. I just want to weigh in and say that zooming out, I've noticed a trend. And this episode was actually designed around what is now being revealed as an intervention for Trey. You are a contrarian.
That's a bird.
And you we know what he means when he says Viking helmet, don't you? I listened to this episode and you were like, I've looked it up. This is I'm going to read you the internet. It's basically what you said. And it's just like the score predictions that will never be the same. That's forever ruined.
Oh, you're just playing
there are
the
other
auto.
things. There are other things.
As the only
you ruined
person on this podcast,
Justin Miram's chances with your wife.
as the only person on this podcast who can speak to Scandinavian culture. Bison are inhabitants of North America. That is what Native Americans wore bison helmets or bison hats.
You can't have any friends when you talk like that.
Honestly,
It's not
I
a
disagree.
helmet.
I think it's a Muscus hat.
You are the Roy Donk.
No,
this Capacho is just. I could burn my mouth expecting
it was
to
in
be
the
cold.
fridge. Well, it's room temperature. No, we looked it up.
I'm with Ben. I know.
Deep dove into this.
I looked it up. Viking helmet. I knew what you meant.
But it's 100%.
Have you ever been
hat.
into a gift shop in Tennessee or,
I try not to.
I'm just saying, like, you go into like those like little pioneer frontier type gift shops that, Olentangy Indian Caverns, whatever.
Oregon
That's what
Trail.
you're going to see. You're going to see a buffalo hat. You're not.
Well,
they're not going to go.
No, you're gonna see Davy Crockett hat.
And buffalo hat to for the Indians.
What's
I was just baiting you into saying raccoon hat, but
yeah.
Yes,
But it is 100% not a Viking hat. But in my brain, I feel like this was
No,
did we talk
to
about
be-
how it was like
to
a
be fair,
Mandela effect thing.
it was
'Cause I
actually
like, I felt
billed.
like-
It was sold as a Viking helmet. I'm not disagreeing with that. Literally on the website of the race that he bought it at, it was a Viking helmet.
Which race?
But it's not a Viking helmet.
Are we talking race now?
Careful.
It literally is not a Viking helmet. But
Yeah, it's
I don't
100.
care.
You're
I don't
100%
care.
correct. Because I was like,
but
I was
I'm
like,
wrong 100% as well.
we went straight.
You're
the next day at
100%
work,
right. You're just alone.
Okay, let me put it this
He's
way:
on top of a mountain.
If that Viking is going into war, he's the first person that's getting sledged on the head because he has nothing protecting his skull. That's it. All the other guys wearing metal and actual armor, they're not aiming for him. They're aiming for the guy with the bison on his head from North America. That's him.
Or they're like, that's a bison. Should probably not shoot that guy.
All right, we don't need to relitigate. Just, I guess
late.
I brought it up,
But it's it's a buffalo hat.
It's a buffalo
Since you
hat.
guys didn't bring it up
Yeah.
and asked me no questions about it, I did have a lovely trip to California with my family. The one thing I
stats.
wanted to share with you was that the trip was great. The flight out, as you know, I have 4 kids, and so we occupy a whole row of the airplane. Our 2-year-old decided that she was not interested in a 4-hour flight, and she put on a performance. One that our surrounding passengers thought was worthy of capturing on film. We were being filmed.
no.
The fits that my kid was throwing.
Was she like
were
bomb, bomb,
so
bomb,
insane.
bomb, 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 bomb,
Were
bomb, bomb?
so crazy that there was a woman who my wife saw filming the fit of the child. Like, I don't know, to share with their friends. To like,
Oh no, that's something that Ben's gonna share with me on Instagram. I know it.
What does that mean?
Everything I know from Instagram, I know from you. And it's
yeah. It'll make the rounds. It'll make the rounds for sure. The trip was great. We did a lot of beaching. We did a inflatable water park that I sent you guys a picture that was just out of this world. The
That
flight
did look
out
cool.
there took us down. That took the day away from us. But anyway, glad to be back. And then, we flew back on Sunday. And while the flight back was not as painful as the flight out, with the time change and everything else, I had to sit out the show. So I'm sorry that I missed it, but I enjoyed listening to it.
Did you enjoy playing Wordle and texting us how well?
I
you did?
was wordling. I would have been no fun if I was on here. So thanks for
Your texts were hilarious.
Thanks for keeping it real. All right, let's get into some discussions about the game. I think we need to start kind of where we left off, or where we were heading before the break. Let's do thoughts and players.
Thoughts and players.
Okay, so we saw Hagen starting over Schulte. We talked about that. Which will be a recurring theme here. Because I think we talked about all this already. But
My favorite part about this podcast is I put all this work into the doc. 0 people look at it and jump.
I'm looking at it now.
God, ridiculous. Wait, when did they? So yeah, when did they say? When did they tell Hagen he was going to start? Like not
They
last
said
game,
in
but
the
the one
semi.
prior.
Before the Philly game was over, before the semifinal was over.
Wild. Why would he?
Nancy told him on the bench that he would be starting the final because it was his tournament.
So I watched the some of the pregame programming that they had to get pumped up for the game, and they did interview Nancy. They asked him about this, and he just said, "Well, again, I'm not gonna do the accent.
Bummer.
So I have a
You could do
career,
the
but-
accent. Come on. Come on.
Wow. Oh, yeah. A tip of the
Very
hat.
good. You could speak French every day. Come on.
But he said
Nico.
Hagen played the first two. Yeah, that's what he said. Nico played the first two games. Schulte was on Olympic duty. He came back. He played a couple games, but this was always the plan.
He said, Nico, he has some ring rust. He needs to shake it off. So he needs to get one game.
Ring rust.
Yeah, and you can return to the final. There you go.
I love that. That's pretty good.
You should.
You should go pro in that.
Yeah, you should go. Yeah, yeah. I wonder if anyone would book you as a birthday party entertainer.
My daughter's birthday's on Saturday. What are you doing? Here is a French impersonator of our coach, our soccer coach.
There's some documents that says I'm not allowed to go to any children's
Undocuments. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
I love that he stuck to his guns though and was like, "Yeah, this is Hagen's thing."
Well,
like,
it's kind of like
it's
it's kind of like the FA Cup, right? You see the backup goalies usually get that tournament.
Dude,
well,
is that
I mean,
a
you
thing?
had
I thought-
Schulte returning from Olympic duty, and I think he did the right thing, and it's admirable to have a coach that actually says something and then follows through on it. It's kind of like the same thing with the playing style. You know, we cough up goal after goal throughout this tournament with bad mistakes in the back, but he sticks to his guns. He sticks to his guns. He says, "Keep playing like this." And it's the same kind of thing. He tells him, 2 games ago, whatever we're doing at the last game, you're playing.
And when the final whistle blew, I saw
Schulte tap.
Schulte ran straight to Nico and was celebrating with him. So it wasn't like there was any hard feelings or anyone was upset about it.
Right.
No, man, and this is the whole the message that we keep hearing is just fearless adoption of this program and the vision. And if you start trying to react, you lose the confidence of the troops, So if that's what he said he was going to do, and that's the explanation for why he started, it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I do wish that Rossi would have at least got one goal in that game. I think he wanted it so bad at the end of the game. That's why he was sprinting the length of the field, because what happened was that Philly guy got a brace in the Colorado game, so he got golden boot. And the issue is, normally in these knockout tournaments, you don't get.
See, I would tend to agree with you, except for the fact that the way Rossi played in Philadelphia in that game with 2 goals and assist.
Yeah,
is that what the stat line was? It's all about the team. Whether it's Cucho scoring, Justin Russell Rose scoring, whatever it may be, he's giving his all to make sure his team wins it. And he was the MVP of this tournament for the Crew. 100%.
Yeah. He was.
Oh, yeah.
He was. And this is
same thing with C3.
I mentioned this.
Farsi.
Yeah.
I mentioned this at the top, just about this is when Rossi joined the team last year, was at the beginning of or in the middle of League's Cup, and we did not stick around as long. I think we make it 1 round at a group stage or something.
Yeah, we made the playoffs.
Lost in a shootout to Minnesota. But man, I don't know. Rossi, he just I don't know that we were super critical of him, but just kind of waiting to see him flourish, and he did it here big time. And even before this tournament, I feel like the last couple months he has just been
he's
on.
He's 100% the Buffalo hat. We owe him an apology. We're
know what?
No way.
he didn't have a great game, but he's always working, always willing, always putting in the effort, always runs into the open. Actually, he did pretty good in that role when they have the rotation on the top three and drop it in and getting that ball and then distributing out. But they keep waiting for that run to come into the middle where they bypass the whole midfield of the other team. He played that role really well. Ramirez does that well too, but Rossi took over that part very well in the end of the game.
Yeah.
So
I had multiple bets with him being an anytime goal scorer because of his recent form.
Yep.
So that was a bummer.
Bye money. That's probably why you were so mad at the tall guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so let's just he scored 2. We've been putting up the goals, man.
I know.
3 in this game. I mean, there were those 2 in quick succession, and it is what it is. But then there were against Philly, we put up 3. We could have put up 7, as far as I could tell, against Philly.
Kansas City.
Rossi almost had 2 header goals in the Philly game.
Right.
Just had 1 though.
Before that, it was New York. I don't know. I mean,
that was a struggle.
I love the fact that they brought Amundsen into the back of the starting lineup for this, and I think it was a little bit to mess with their heads.
Yeah,
like remember this guy with the pass from the MLS Cup final last year. And the other interesting thing was last year in the MLS Cup finals, we had Boanga playing on the left side. He got just shut down by Morera. His buddy Morera shut him down. And now he was not even on that side. He was playing the opposite side most of the game. So it was kind of interesting how they placed that. So much for his. He went out and said something about what was it, payback, or
they said that you're going to get the revenge.
Get the revenge or whatever. No, it didn't happen this time.
Dude, he was a non-factor that game.
Well, I have
He's
to
a great
say,
player,
I told you I watched some of the pregame programming. They did the coach interviews, and I watched the Trundolo interview, and like,
did he come out after the game and say like, well, the better team didn't win like he did at MLS Cup?
No, I kind of forgot that he said that, but like it was just as small. Like, I don't know. They gave him an opportunity to kind of say something like, they were like, the question was something along the lines of, who do you think you are? The crew are? Who do you think you are? The crew are. Yeah. I mean, they said, who do you think the best team in the MLS is right now? The crew has been like doing really well or something. And he said, my players are the best in the world. So, I don't know. It was just like a really
not
kind of
there the last couple games where they absolutely.
And you know what? I'm not
expecting
expecting him to come out before the game and say the crew is the better team.
100%.
He wouldn't say that, right? But his answer was like pretty hollow, and when he was talking about their strategy, I don't know, he just the confidence was not there.
Yeah, zero chance.
And he just looked scared.
I have a player question because this is Thoughts on Players. Cucho. Would we be here without Cucho? And the other thing is, who's more important for the team right now? Is it Cucho or is it Nancy, or is it obviously the factor of both? But the way that he comes in and show up in big games like this is pretty amazing.
Man, Cucho is such a baller.
And some of the commentary from a lot of the coaches, obviously, that have been playing us now is like, yeah, the coach make the support team, the support crew better, but Cucho is a beast.
We tied our way out of the playoffs in 2022 with Cucho. We had plenty of time to make the playoffs with Cucho. Now he had the same acclimation period that Rossi did, where he's like, I mean, he scored in his first game in Chicago here, but like, and I think he did make more of an immediate impact than Rossi did. But I think that Nancy.
Oh yeah,
it's a team thing, right? Like Nancy brings the team to a new level, but that's no negative comment on Cucho because he is insane.
Yeah.
But
we didn't have him for a lot of CONCACAF, and we still. I mean, that's when Rossi stepped up and was scoring a bunch, and it's okay.
I was playing a little devil's advocate because it's pretty obvious that the coach here is the huge impact.
I mean, eye test when you're watching Cucho play and the rest of the team, it's like Cucho's on a different level. It's just
No, it's just the hunger. It's the hunger he has.
It's passion.
Yeah.
He's got that tattoo.
Passion.
He got that neck tat.
You know, every time we do something really great
on the pod,
yeah, every week,
yeah,
sounds like every Sunday.
Never again
on Monday,
Saturday.
respectively.
Never Saturday.
But not Saturday.
Every time the team does something really great, like lifts a trophy, I do think about our poor friend Hattie Raphael from the Montreal.
They lost 5-0
Balls Around podcast that we interviewed in December of 2022. When they announced Nancy as the coach, and we're like, "Oh, what are we gonna see?" And he's like, "A lot of goals. You're gonna see a lot of goals. It's gonna be really fun." And I feel for him and the ineptitude of his club's ownership. But
I need to give him a wellness text and just be like, "How you doing, man?" Because they lost 5-0, I think, at home against New England.
Yeah. So
Courtois, man, they started pretty good.
Something I wanted to ask you guys about that I said I didn't want to interrupt Trey earlier, but I think this is a better time to talk about it. Leagues Cup in general. I feel like I like it. I don't think I respect it yet.
No.
I'm glad we're on top. What did we win? 5 games?
Yeah, in 7 days.
Sporting,
NYCFC,
Miami,
New York,
Philly,
and
LA.
And
we had a bye.
We skipped 2 games up front, but we were playing Aston Villa or something.
And winning that game.
Yeah. And half our team was on the All-Star team also.
I still gotta beat a dead horse here. It's better than the Open Cup. It is. It's more exciting.
Yeah, like as a product.
As a product.
But that's also because they put the money where their mouths are, so to speak.
Right.
And
there's so many caveats to that.
MLS doesn't control the Open Cup. It's USSF.
Yep.
That's also true. I also think they should just combine the Leagues Cup and CONCACAF.
To pre-qualify some teams to come in?
That's apples and oranges. That's 2 totally separate things. But
and this is
Indy 11 might qualify for the Champions Cup by winning the Open, coming in like 3rd in the Open Cup this year because of the teams that are left.
I want to say another thing that's pretty controversial. The actual look of the Leagues Cup, I kind of like it.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
It's a big one.
It's the curves on the cups.
It's got the hourglass. That's why. The hourglass gets me every time.
Did you see what I just put on the doc?
My wife.
Did you see it? Everybody go look at the absolute quality engraving.
Oh yeah. I noticed that too. I'm sorry. I noticed that at the stadium.
Dude, Miami's is bad too. Who'd they hire to do that?
They literally did that as the team won. They were engraving it.
Dude,
that's what's
just
on
like
the
slap
cup
a sticker on it for the presentation.
I will say that that's
yeah.
I saw that, but I think it's relatively small. It's very zoomed in, I believe, on that thing though.
I don't care.
There's no way that what we're seeing is larger than what it really is.
I mean,
it's fine. You guys,
what do you consider large? 2 inches?
We haven't really,
dude. The second
my
2
question.
is a lean back.
Stop.
It's bad.
Leagues Cup. Let me tell you what I think, and you see if you want to add.
Messi Cup, as we call it.
Well, right. I think it was born from the Messi to MLS documentary. I think that they needed content for that documentary that they were going to make everyone aware of. In the same way that Apple put the U2 album on everyone's iPhones,
the red iPhones.
Seriously, it still plays every now and then. I was like, "What is this?"
It automatically plays in your car.
Yeah, so
when I
there's programming in the algorithm that says anytime you get in the car, you play the U2 album.
It was a beautiful
and
day.
you just there's an image of Messi's exploded ankle on your background. But the question my take is it remains to be seen. I think that if Leagues Cup has longevity and this sticks around for 10, 15 years, having our name scribbled on this cup in 2024 will mean something. Right now, I think it's good bragging rights. It's good cross conference opportunity play where we wouldn't otherwise play teams of the West, and we won our way to the final. Right?
Let me put it like this: if it's gone in 2 years, does it take away the feelings we had watching that game at the stadium? This is what it's all about, right? It's all about emotions, entertainment, and being there and living it and doing it. It doesn't really matter. Like in all sports, it doesn't really matter. So when it comes down to being at the stadium, living those emotions, that happiness, that celebration, and all those things, that's real. That happened. 20,000 people going absolutely wild, and twice that at home somewhere, right? And celebrating, right?
Well, they were stoked.
I don't care what this means. And I don't care what it means in 2 years. I lived it. I loved it. And I had such a great time with it. And I have no money left in the bank.
So here's my
100%.
take on that. Like, I agree with Morton 100%. In 2026, you're going to have the World Cup in the United States. They are setting this tournament the way it is presented currently, in playing within 3 to 4 weeks after All-Star break. They're positioning it so that they're not going to play it in 2026. It's going to be the World Cup that takes this spot. And they can easily get rid of this tournament in 2026 and then resume it in 2027. I think that's one of the biggest reasons why you see it happening, along with the Open Cup imploding on itself.
But the Mexican League wouldn't be interested in doing this in the long haul.
Well, no,
it's
good for U.S. It's good for U.S. soccer. It's good for MLS. It's good. They can literally substitute the time frame that they're using for Leagues Cup and plug the World Cup in.
Well, the Mexican team's also
going to be
making
the same
a
thing.
ton of money when they're up here. The other thing that we didn't talk about was this is 2 years in a row where they pit like who's better, Liga MX or MLS, and the final was all MLS teams. So it's
the
like
semis were all MLS teams.
Yeah, right. And it's like, well, that also didn't make it as exciting. But then you turn around because they're at the beginning of their season. You turn it around for C3 for CONCACAF, and it's like we're at the start of our season and we lose a bunch of games, and everyone's like, well, obviously MLS is worse. And it's like, no, guys, like chances are they're probably about equal if everybody's in form. I mean, based on
the other thing that is
facts.
weird is could you spread this out like the Cup? Because it does feel really weird that it's like everything has to stop and you play this tournament and then okay, here we go and let's play league again. And it's now when you go all the way like we did
Champions
now,
League,
we even further back in terms of games and have to catch up. And
we've got 3 extra games in the next like 8 weeks. So there's in 8 where we would have otherwise played, assuming it was only once a week, which it probably isn't. Say we're going to play 8, we're going to play 11 in that time. We just got done playing, 5 games in 3 weeks. I'm glad we're in good condition. We proved it last year that we can punch out a bunch of these games, and earlier this year we were doing it. Although I think we were dropping some points in March and April
because of the tournaments, right?
Because of the C3, yeah.
And people recognize that. And there's a couple of things here. First of all, I think with Miami beating Cincinnati this weekend, I think the Shield is probably going to be hard. I know
theirs to lose.
Yeah, it's theirs to lose.
No, I don't know. Is that true? Can't we win out?
No, they're still ahead. They're still ahead now. Miami,
no, but we have a head-to-head match with them still.
Yes, we do. We do.
I think we can. I think we can win out.
Yeah, no. If we win out, yes, of course. But
like if we win out and they win out, it's a big. I think we get it.
Yeah,
that's what
they won't win out because they have to play us, and then we have to lose.
We have 43
but even
points.
So, I think they're like another 4 points
yeah.
ahead of us after that. But and that's fine.
Okay,
that's
we'll
fine.
Talk about that
that's fine.
Yeah.
If we can be, but we can catch up with Cincinnati. What it's interesting is how many people that are not related to Crew like associated with the crew, has gone out and said, you know what, this team has to be the team that you pick for next year's World Cup, World Cup, World Cup. And it's not. I saw it a lot from crew people, but I see it also from people that is not associated with the crew at all, saying this team has to represent us now. They've been in the cup, they came to the final of the Champions Cup, they won this here, and if they're going to be involved in the playoff 2 again here, you have to pick this team.
It has to be.
Yeah,
and
but
honestly, if that happens, I think it's more of an incentive for everybody to stay.
Yes.
That's the one thing. It's like, they have this cup, they have this cup. They've probably the best team the MLS has ever seen. And it's like,
and I think that relates a little bit to reading the internet, of course, not 1,000 players. So maybe.
Before we do that, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Hello, Adam Hernandez here, fellow crew fan and Columbus-based artist, muralist, and designer. When I'm not making art, I'm looking at art. And when I'm looking at art, I want it to come to life. That's why I made my new augmented reality prints. What's an augmented reality print, you may ask? Well, I make my really cool psychedelic art come to life in the palm of your hand. Check out my website, ahernandezart.com, or at ahernandezart to learn more. They're really rad. ahernandezart.
Okay, we're back. So, really quick.
Wow, that was fast.
Yeah, I know.
It's fastest.
I will. I wanted to give some shout outs on the Run Club. Nelson.
Nelly.
Don't know where Nelson came from, but Nelson ran 61 miles last week. So, yeah,
so many miles. I told him, I saw him.
What?
We always keep liking each other's stuff, and we've been friends forever. And it's like, I was like, you should join our Run Club. I always just like it without seeing the actual miles. And then, as soon as he joined, I was like, oh, yeah, he's one of those crazy runners.
No, he's a good dude.
Oh, he's the best.
Yep.
He's also a running maniac.
We had. Let's see. I'm gonna push Mike over the threshold there. We had 9 people run over 30 miles last week. Our president, Stacy, Kaylin, Francesca, Chris, Priscilla, Ben, whoever that is.
Ooh,
Idiot.
Ben ran over 30 miles last week.
Wow.
Chubbiest dude on the pod.
Everything okay at home, Ben? Everything cool?
No, I run the demons.
What are you running from, Ben?
What aren't I running from? Wilfred Nancy, I know that much.
Kevin and Mike. Congrats on the 30 miles. Not going to give a kit update. Do we have a new logo? We're working on the logo.
Texted. We'll get it. We'll get it.
Okay. All right. So we are, let's see. We did the thoughts. We're going to read the internet.
You've got mail.
Okay. We've already talked about all of this. But let's talk about it again. On the massive, was last night the loudest lower.com has ever been. Here's the quote. My watch registered 118 decibels in Nordic after the second goal. Now, you were saying that the third goal was even louder.
Yeah, I believe the third goal was even louder because everybody was already fired up. The funny thing was, right in between the goals, the couple of 1 minute between, Elin.
She came
12.
up. I was going to say
your daughter.
She turned 12, so we gave her a
Elon Musk.
Apple Watch because I don't want to give her a phone, but she wants to be a little more independent and all that stuff. So she got an Apple Watch, and she came up to me like, "Dad,
I see that you're trying to justify your decisions.
And she only has screen time.
I want screen-free schools. That's if somebody goes and campaigning that, I don't care what part of your
I'm going opposite.
For you.
All screens. Give them Google glasses.
Anyways, so she comes up and is like, Dad, if I stay in this environment for 20 more minutes, I won't have severe, a hearing damage. So
you said what?
Yeah, I said what? I can't hear you. That's exactly what I told her.
Yeah. Yeah, talk to Uncle Ben. He can't hear shit.
Hey.
She was actually, to be totally accurate, she was sitting right in front of Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, that's the problem.
that
I
explains
said
it.
that was
so
the-
many bad words to offend your son.
Nothing that mom hasn't said already.
Good. I needed my
Okay,
mouthwash
so-
now, so but yeah.
So it says. So then there's also from the Massive. There's an AI summary of what 118 decibels means, and that is a turbofan aircraft. I don't know what that is, but it sounds loud. Takeoff power from 200 feet away. Let's see. Considered unsafe for human hearing and could cause pain,
that's
discomfort.
between 110 and 120.
So
dB.
if you can, listen to your kids. And
A turbofan aircraft is a jet plane.
yeah, you could have just said jet plane, turbofan aircraft.
Fan. Is
Hey,
that one of those big ass
hey,
fans?
hey,
Like spinning
Mars,
really
the
fast?
segment is called Reading the Internet. So you.
Hey, was your how was the turbo
Listen,
plane
I don't want to be pedantic.
fan
but
flight to
That's
Yeah.
not a
all
jet
I
plane.
heard. All I heard was the screams of misery because we wouldn't put water in the cup for the child.
Hey, Mars, just speaking of reading the internet, are you okay?
Yeah,
It was like all over the place.
Oh,
Don
yeah,
Garber.
yeah.
Are you
Oh, it's
okay?
the best.
I'm great. I saw that. Was it NBC, ABC? It's ABC, right? Their morning show where they just
yeah,
troll Anthony Precourt.
Oh,
Love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good on
gotta-
him.
Man, I would
Petition-
love
yeah.
to read the Precourt Garber text thread. I wonder what that looks like.
I just love the fact that WSYX Channel 6 does it unprovoked. There's no ongoing Austin war. There's nothing like it is shots fired for no reason.
Yeah, Austin's
they-
catching
and they-
strays.
Oh, for
It's
plenty
straight
of
up
reasons.
Boston
but
Tea
Oh,
Party.
100%.
That's what this
And
is.
they do it like total local news, like smiling, like over smiling.
Yeah.
Like if you had it on in the background, you wouldn't know that they were just trolling some
Yeah.
deep cut.
And I guarantee half of them
Like-
don't know what they're talking about. They're just reading a teleprompter, and
It doesn't
behind the
matter.
teleprompter is like us. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're all flipping the bird.
Yeah.
But also,
great.
yeah, we
Good.
talked about it before, but it's
Wonderful.
like, well, does Austin live rent free in your brain? Yeah, dude. Yeah, every day. I'm like,
Yeah.
what are they doing? I hope they lose.
I wanted to just send like clips to the Austin FC X account or other people who totally Josh Jackson. I'm thinking about that guy. How much I hate
Dude,
him.
I was in a call.
I was thinking about trolling that guy today, like just asking him about it. Like I've never talked to this person. He does not know who I am, and the reason
was
why I
bad
didn't
attitude.
was because it was like, if I go at this guy, like there is a possibility that I will develop some kind of problem for the rest of my life.
Do you know who doesn't think like that? Haas. There's a guy right in front of him he's never met, but you go at him. We got to talk to Haas.
And that's even in real life.
That's what I'm saying.
You're really right about this Austin thing, Ben, because I was on the call earlier today with this guy out of Chicago. We're talking about bourbon. We always end up talking about bourbon in our weekly call. And he said, you should try this. Is this rye? Still Austin?
Still Austin. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, I won't try that. So like, I just can't.
Yeah.
Just
Everybody.
turn me off right away.
I keep
like, no.
getting people to tell me to try that. I'm like, nah, dog.
No,
I'd rather eat
no.
my own
Tastes
poop.
like queso
In
and
my head.
anti-trophy queso.
Yeah.
Okay, so Brianna McKay with the Dispatch says Cucho has no idea where his original jersey went. We talked about it.
I wonder who
And,
got that. They got to post it
And
somewhere.
when it was gone in the crowd, thought, oh my God, my shirt. What do I do to play?
Well, he still had his bra on, so it's not like he was naked.
Yeah, in that moment, you don't think about what you do. In that moment, it's what's natural. I get it.
All right. So
gotta pitch the shirt, man.
In that thread, because that was actually on Reddit, that there were people that were in there, and they actually said that as soon as he threw it, Matan tracked it down. Like ran. He did not get another shirt. He went straight and got the shirt because he's like, well, yeah, because I think it said it could get worse. Like he was like Matan didn't celebrate. He just ran and got his shirt from that guy. They threw it back down. He kept asking them to throw it back down.
Okay.
And then I guess when the ref was running back out,
I wonder how they saw him. You have to imagine.
Yeah, I was about to say we didn't see it on camera because it was below the camera.
It's impossible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Matan's
below everything.
So yeah, and they said that as he was going back out, the ref yellow carded him, and as he put up the card, Cucho like was smiling and like took out his hand, and they both like shook hands like good job, and then he ran back, like he shook the hands of the ref like yeah I got it cool, and he was just like yeah I got to do this, I'm sorry.
I expect nothing else from winning the game-winning goal.
Oh, 100%
in a cup championship.
Yeah,
in front of Nordic.
He could take his shorts off when I care. I mean, come on.
I took my shorts off. Dude, I'm not joking. I turned around. I don't know if you guys saw
this. This was when you
this.
were deciding about your outfit?
I hit
or during the goal?
I was second guessing myself. I'm still second guessing myself. But yeah, I hit the ground. I like ran back by myself and I like got on my knees. I was like, I was like more pumped about that than the actual.
The group was that we were standing. We were all like running in circle, like bumping into people. It was fantastic. Ugh.
But literally, they were jackhammering, and the flares were going off, and then we scored the. You can watch it. They scored the goal before they even finished the jacking.
Smoke was still. Yeah,
that's when I was like, I watched it delayed, so we put all the kids down and. I like shouted when I think it was right when Cucho passed to Russell Rowe. I like shouted, like oh, or something like that.
Crap!
And then he scored, and then I like said something again, and then I mean I wasn't crying, but like I just decided I started
I'm not crying.
Like just kind of yelling like this is. Yeah, man, let it rip. Like, because I got like, you're trying to, not disrupt the house, but it's like.
I was slow clapping.
We did it, man. We did it. 5 games against what statistics will tell us are increasingly more competitive opponents. And then we just crushed it at the end where at the 90th minute, we thought like, this is going to go to some dumb shootout, and we're going to have to beat LA, and then we score and go ahead, and then we just pummel them.
Yeah, score again, and just
incredible.
So,
jeez.
Did you guys see the scenes from the locker room? So before we get into predictions, they were partying pretty hard.
Yeah, none of them are going to go.
Yeah, we play Wednesday. That's insane.
Yeah. It'll be interesting who we trot out on Wednesday. I assume it's. I think we're going. I think we're going to play. Yeah, probably. But yeah, the last thing I have up there was that Brianna McKay said I was quoting Cucho. He's like, I was running with the ball and said, I'm going to get my hat trick, which makes perfect sense. But he's like, but the center back came to me, and I had to give it to Jason. He's a great striker. He's a killer. And I was like. Yeah, when he was doing that breakaway, I just thought like he's not going to pass it. Like he's on a hat trick. He wants to end it. And he straight up like did pass it.
He does the
and
right
I just
thing.
I'm like, dude, that's to me that's
class.
Yeah, like exactly. And he's like, and after the game, he's like talking about like the thing. And he's like, yeah, I'm glad I got to pass it to Jason because we talked last podcast about like, they were possibly not shopping him, but people were like calling about Russell Rowe, and they're like, no, we're keeping him. And it's like, I think they actually view him pretty high. Plus, he came in at like when it was tied at 83 or something like that.
He scored when he needed to, and it speaks volumes for the unselfishness of Cucho.
Yeah, he
that was
took
the first
that
thing
so well.
Lauren said when watched it, it's like while I was just screaming, "Oh crap!"
Yeah.
You know, like just man, like the vision to do the right thing, but also the team mentality. It's contagious,
Dude.
and that's why
after
Nazi's
that
so
goal,
important.
the entire bench came. Like the second
love
goal,
that.
the
It
whole
was
bench
it was
didn't
a
come in the
mess.
corner.
It was ridiculous.
But like as soon as it happened, they might as well have just called the game. Like everybody
Including in the field. Oh,
yeah, everybody
yeah.
was on the field. I was like, oh, it's a party.
Yeah.
Like the person leading it, I'm pretty sure was Ramirez. Like he was,
Yeah.
they all just had pennies on and they were just sprinting.
Yeah.
It was
So- One last read the internet that I want to hit is Tom Bogert, and this was in addition to an X that he made on August 17th.
a tweet.
Right, on X.
Yep.
So as of last night, Columbus Crew are now 29 wins, 12 draw, and 2 losses with a plus 61 goal differential under Nancy at lower.com. Insane.
61 plus 61
2 losses.
is bananas.
29-12 with 2 losses with a plus 61 goal differential.
So so you guys, like, that's an exciting statistic.
Yeah.
As someone who lives
Far away.
outside of Columbus,
Uh-huh.
I'm just like, I feel envy of the return on investment that you guys
should.
get on your season tickets. Like,
I mean, I
Like-
burned to the money. My son doesn't understand. I don't think he realizes right now.
You keep
the
telling
goals
him.
he lives
You
in-
keep beating
Mort's out here.
down.
I don't want to hear
Finn,
this more.
the
You're out here
goals
buying
per
Apple
dollar,
Watches.
the goals per dollar that we're getting right now.
GPD. GPD.
No, I'm just talking about. I don't think my son understands the world
No,
we're
he has
living
no
in.
clue.
Right to hear like the winning, since he kind of like got that mental thing from like just going
He
to
is-
the game with me to like understand what's going on.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, we
You're
just
like growing
gonna-
up
oh,
in
we're gonna
Man
win.
City. It's
We
like, oh, you
have to
just win all the
Yeah,
time?
we're just gonna win.
Yeah, you just kind of.
And I love the fact the internet also is talking about that. Ben, I think you mentioned it. This is not a typical MLS team. This is
Yeah,
a
Tata
very,
said that.
Yeah, it's a very the Tata said that it's not a typical MLS team. This team is pretty damn special.
Yeah, he just said, I think, I don't have the quote in front of me, but he was just like, yeah, there's a bunch of good teams, but like the Crew is not an MLS team. It's like they're from a different league. It's like, cool. It's like the Beatles. It's like they just don't count. It's like, yeah,
Or
they're just
MLS is
so
just
good.
evolving
Yeah.
to be a pretty decent league.
Well, who'd have thunk it?
On the top.
Yeah.
We just got to get rid of Dong.
Hey, he celebrated his 25th anniversary with the league. How about that, huh?
Yeah.
Congrats, Don.
I want it to be like the NFL. Okay, Dong.
He's an inspiration.
Love it.
So we have surmised or proposed that perhaps there may be some Salt Lake style lineups on Wednesday
Salt
when we
Lake
play
Crew too.
against Philly. It's away, right?
Away,
in
yeah.
Philadelphia.
It's where Crew 2
We
is at
may
today.
see Nico making his second consecutive start, or Schulte maybe is less hungover than that. We'll have to see. They'll do a breathalyzer.
Did they have White Claws in the
determine-
thing? Because if they have White Claws in the thing, Schulte ain't
I will
gonna make
say
it.
the upside is the next two opponents are against teams that also have been through the grind.
Yeah. Because Philly played also in the third place game.
Yeah,
Correct.
early in the
So
day.
Yeah.
they've been playing. They've been
lost
playing.
it.
So anyway,
Went home.
what of our Crew 2 reserves play on Wednesday will be determined when we see the lineups. But the Crew 2 played, was it today?
Yeah, against Philly in Philly.
Against Philly. They're already there.
They
They're
played
ready
in the
to
They
city.
leave
play.
them there.
I think they roll out the same
But
starting 11.
Let's hear how they did from Bird now.
Hey everyone, and thanks for having me again here to talk about the Crew 2 who played against the Philadelphia Union 2, the Little Snakes, yesterday in Pennsylvania, whatever is the name of the city that they play at, which is not Philly. This was a really important game for the Cappies because we were in third, Philadelphia were in second, just a couple of points apart. I think we started when the game began. We were with the same amount of points, so winning that one would have gotten us in second. Unfortunately, we tied 1-1 and then lost to PKs, so Philly took that extra point. It was a very good game. I think those are two very good, solid teams. As we all know, Philly has had a very strong academy for a long time now, and they do use a lot of their academy players. Kevin Sullivan is, the highlight, the star of that group, and so do we. Our team is really well based off of our academy, and I think it's cool when two teams that are from the basis of their system plays against each other, because it shows the amount of work that those organizations are putting into developing new players. Kevin Sullivan did score the first goal for Philly. It was an amazing shot from outside the box. It's probably going to get goal of the week, and the hype for that kid, who's 14-year-old, keeps rising and rising. The Cappies did play really well. I thought that they dominated possession, but they had some issue connecting on the final third of the attack, while Philly was okay giving us the ball, but was very dangerous in counters and whenever they have the possibility to attack. Our goal ended up coming from a set-piece situation that the ball bounced around a bunch inside their box, and Brandon Dugiamfi, who is the leading scorer for the Cappies with Chase Adams, put the ball in. Game ended up 1-1, and then at PKs, as I said, the Union 2 won 5-4. Another thing that I want to highlight is that it was really cool to see Xavier Zengue start and be the captain. For those who don't know, Zengue is a defender, usually a center back, but who has, in my opinion, a lot of the same qualities that guys like Trebeko and Moreira have. That he's very fast, good with the ball on his feet, and in tight spaces. So I think that a lot of Crew 2 fans have a lot of excitement about to see Zengue develop. Unfortunately, he has been hurt the last couple of seasons, so it's nice to see him recover and make his start and be a leader on the team. The Cappies now stand still in third place. They are 3 points behind FCC2 in first and Philadelphia Union in first as well. Both of them have 43 points. We have 40. We have a game at hand against Philly, but we have the same amount of games against FCC2. Because those two teams have the tiebreaker, basically we are 4 points behind them, and there's 6 games to go. So I see a really good chance that we could win it all on the East side again, like we did in 2022, and I think that the team is in a good place to do so. All right. Thanks very much, guys. We play again this weekend, and as always, it's a pleasure to talking to everyone. Remember to register to vote, and bye.
Thanks, Bird. That's a tough beat.
Yeah. I mean, the Cavan shot, the goalie had nothing. I was texting Bird during the game. There's nothing he could have done, man. That thing was an absolute banger.
We got to get into predictions, guys. We have this is a long one, but championship. We got on the League's Cup. Do they fly a banner or something? Like, do they?
I don't know. That's a good question because you do Open Cup. Should we put up a League's Cup? I think we should.
I think everybody gets a towel or something.
So
I don't know. Hey, when Duncan was on and I was rattling off his achievements, I think the last thing I said was the Open Cup that they won, and he said, well, "Don't forget that one."
It's the first trophy.
Yeah,
it was the first. But like I don't know. These guys aren't going to forget that game.
No,
Yeah.
It's
a big game. I'm not going to forget.
And against LA again.
Yeah.
They came in thinking they were going to get revenge. No, you're just not as good.
Yeah, they're just not. We played
just not as good.
Off the field.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I said to
Don't forget the
Lauren-
fact that this gives us not only qualification to the CONCACAF Champions Cup, it gives us a bye
Yeah.
in CONCACAF.
And I think it
Champions
gave
Cup.
us like 10 million.
50 million.
50 million.
I don't know, I
Leagues
made
Cup
that up.
is 50.
I made that up. But
No, I think it is 50. I think it is
150 million.
because somebody said that we invested like 10
me
10 million in
cheese that.
Cucho and we returned like 50 or something like that.
Yeah, okay.
Dang.
Well,
Leagues Cup.
$6 million. Nope.
What did I
that's
say?
wrong.
that's a net present value situation.
This edition
Yeah,
of
there's-
Leagues Cup will have a total prize purse of 40 million. But that doesn't go to the actual winner. Let's see. The winner. Yeah, I think it is like
Because you make more each round, right? So it's you add on to your purse as you go.
$2 million is what it looks like.
yeah. Yep. Still,
Well, they
man.
did great. They did great, guys.
Well,
It's free money.
MLS Cup was
That we won
400,000, I
today.
think. So yeah, more than that.
MLS Cup.
That's like halfway to.
Well, they didn't spend the money on the engraver. I'll tell you that much. That guy got $7 and Burger King.
Okay,
All right.
we're gonna talk about the tables.
Just tables! Tables! But tables! I can't know how to hear any more about tables.
Tables
Currently-
are back.
Tables are
Currently
back.
in the East, Miami has clinched a playoff spot in first place with 56 points. Most teams have played 26 games, so I'm not going to jump back into that. Cincinnati's in second with 48 points. The Crew are in third with 43 points. Only 23 games played. Red Bull New York in fourth.
Thought you weren't gonna jump into
NYCFC
that.
in fifth. Charlotte in sixth. Orlando in seventh. And the final two play-in game playoff spots, 8th and 9th, is Toronto and Atlanta. But Philly, Montreal, New England are not, well, the rest of the table are not too far behind Atlanta.
Yeah, Philly's on a bit of a tear too. But
We-
I mean,
and then-
we should talk about the Saturday was Miami Cincinnati. I don't think we talked about
Whoa.
that or even mentioned it. But
I did
it was
mention
briefly
it. The fact that we now Miami is going to be the one to catch.
yeah, Cincy's
But we have a
dropped.
pretty good chance of catching up with Cincy at this point.
And I think I would have to revisit. I don't know. I think some of our bold predictions have been set on fire. Mine,
Not mine.
about Miami getting not in the play.
It's
100%.
officially, it's 100% not happening now.
But it's a 100% unbolded,
Yeah.
if you will.
I
It
would
was,
say this,
deleted.
though.
Backspace.
I did a check. I mean, mathematically, yes, Miami's still not would have qualified. I went back over a couple of years of MLS, the East table, and we're going to do really, really, really poorly if we're not in the playoff at this point. We're going to lose
Yeah.
every game to not be in the playoff.
Yeah.
So
Okay. All right. And then we have 2 games coming up. So we'll do are we doing double
yeah, which
predict?
makes me remind you that we do
2
have
picks.
an internal table to talk about too, because now
Yeah,
we're
it's been
going
a
back
long
into play.
time, guys. It's been a long time.
And
We will talk about that. We're playing Philly on Wednesday, and we're playing
City.
City at home
NYCFC.
again.
NYC at home.
Isn't it funny how we're playing the 2 same teams
I know.
that we played in previous rounds, like right
Interesting.
after? This is why we have to mix it up.
Too
to
bad.
play-
It's too bad Emeki's just couldn't show up.
Yep.
I was hoping to play Cincy Pachuca, man, or
I
put it
know.
the other way around.
But instead, we just
Um,
won the cup, so I guess
Yeah.
that's fine
Oh well.
too.
Well.
Beggars can't be choosers.
We're so funny. Let's talk about it.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk about how funny we are.
Tip of the hat.
Okay. All right. We're back. So
Does anybody have our tables pulled up from our
yeah.
actual
So
thing?
more,
I have no idea where we're
catch
at.
us up. It's been a while. This is the quest to not wear the queso kit on Christmas next year, which Haas so bravely regaled this year.
We could have a replacement. already.
What?
Oh, because
what?
the shirt is. Did
What'd
you
your
lose
cat
it
do?
or?
Did you lose it? Did you burn it?
No, but I've got something that we could use as a replacement.
Ooh.
Well, I hope you
Extra-
like it because
extra
I have.
cheap.
I hope you like what your replacement is because I can tell you the standings right now. Because
Please do.
we're back in proper order, and well, it's not proper order because I am in the lead with 19 points. Following me is Mars and Trey with 17, Ben with 16, and Haas mentioned last because he's last at 15 points.
Yeah,
I have
only
no
one
way.
away
I have
from
no
me.
way to prove or dispute these numbers.
It's Excel.
I thought I was higher. Wasn't I higher? Wasn't I with you?
No.
It feels right.
Yeah, you're with me. Right with me.
Yeah, you were right with Trey.
Right where you belong.
I was with
Plenty
you.
of games left to move up the table.
You were close until I got a perfect score and,
Oh, that's
and
right.
moved ahead. That's what happened. On vacation.
Okay. All right. Everything's just working out for
I
you.
think I
You're
was
just-
correct on the last two
just
games. And
you're in the
Oh no!
screensaver,
Yeah,
you're-
I think a few of us were correct in Leagues Cup.
the Leagues Cup.
Leagues Cup games don't
Yeah.
count towards
Yeah,
the
don't
table.
count.
But we
I
should
had City game.
stop
You know what they... Oh, go ahead, Ben.
and figure
Ben-
out who
Yes.
actually won the Leagues Cup glasses.
Thank you.
Oh, we
Thank
did.
Yes.
you.
Predicts. So
We had
we
one
had
winner.
a ridiculous amount of people not only participate
3-1
for
was
these,
popular.
but so many people kept winning. It was so frustrating. Rex yelled at me at the end of the game because everybody was celebrating, and I was trying to find funny gifts for each person that got a win. And I was like, "Daggone it, daggone it, daggone it!" I was like, "There's 7 people who predicted 3-1 out of the
Crew
40."
keeps winning. Crew keeps winning, and crew fans are winning.
Yeah. So, how about on the count of 3, we'll all say the name of the person who won the glasses. 1, 2, 3. Courtney Sullivan! And her address is.
Crazy clock lady.
Yeah. So, yeah, she didn't even know. I mean, she got 3 correct early, and I don't even think she predicted the last game or whatever, but she got 3 almost in back-to-back games, 3 out of 4 or something like that. So
She got it lost in the city.
she
game,
gets the cups. But since it was so popular, we're going to do the cups again because it takes no effort for me and it's all
The
more.
glasses. The glasses. The heavy bottom glasses.
Cups.
Is that well? We also have
Don't call them
see
cups.
through cups.
we have pint glasses too.
It's not as valuable if they're cups.
No, but it's
Somehow.
It's so
What
much
happens if it's a
cup
snake
talk
cup?
today?
Still less.
Yeah, cup, unless it's made of metal.
I
They're
feel
glasses.
like I say
They're
cup
rocks
like I
glasses.
say instead of soda, people say pop.
You hit me in the cup.
Nobody says cups.
I always say cups.
Buffalo glasses.
Yeah, not if
Really?
it's glass. If it's glass, it's not a cup.
cup.
If it's metal, it's a cup.
These
Right.
are cups.
Right.
Yeah, dog.
I'm holding up my
inscribed.
cup
I
stack that I
mostly
made.
drink out of plastic cups though. Got to get them micros.
Shout out to
So-
Nordic for the cup stack. Sorry.
Yeah, that was great.
That was
That was
amazing.
great.
Do we know? I
and
tried to find on the. I
Courtney,
read it.
congratulations.
Who started that? They were like, shout out to this guy, but it was his back was turned. I was like, dang.
I mean, how does one person start a cup? I mean, you
They
need
drink
more
a
than
lot.
one
You
person.
drank 350 beers.
Okay. All right, let's do our predictions. Are you guys ready to do your Philly prediction? All right, let's talk about D's next
I don't know.
games.
I thought I
You got to
was.
think about that.
I'm already sweating.
Man, I don't even know. Like,
Buckle up, Buttercup.
My tongue is sweating.
I'm not good at doing things.
You're dumb.
All right. Woo, Ben, you say 2-2-2-2. 2. You assume that someone else is going to say 2-2? 2?
I don't know. I was trying to think of something funny, and I just kept typing 2.
Well, nobody laughs, so let's go to Trey.
Yep, that's a pretty bad job.
Trey said
Don't quit your day job.
1-2. Uh-oh. I'm afraid, because now I realized that I did it wrong.
Oh, you know
Yes.
what? Well,
All right. Trey says 1-2.
Jim's is better than Pat's.
Jim's is better than Pat's.
yeah.
Cheesesteaks.
Someone's gonna
South
explain
Street.
that one too.
Jim's on South Street.
With wit,
With whiz.
with whiz,
New
Yeah.
onions with whiz. Yep.
with
I don't-
whiz.
I
Got to
don't
get it
like
with
this.
whiz.
I don't like this.
I thought is
I
that
don't
what it,
like this one.
Phillies cheese?
Mort
steak.
Winning
Mort
room.
says 0-1 Crew.
Yeah, it's Gino's.
Scoreline we haven't seen
No,
since
not Gino's, Jim's.
since we were
Oh.
rust ready. What's the term? Ring rust.
Ring rust.
We were ring rusty. We haven't seen a 1-0 Crew score or a 0-1 away Crew score.
I feel like it's going to be like 10 Crew guys standing in the back of the field till they kind of sweated out all the beer. And then at the end,
Maybe
they're like,
so.
yeah, it's time to go up and win it. And then it will win it. But I did change the score about like 15 times. I started with 2-2, but I think we'll pull out as,
Oh, you're.
nothing.
It was like me.
yeah.
Also, and then I just went and looked at my text to Mort from last week and typed it, and now I realize that it's a little misrepresented because the score is flipped because we're away. But I predict we win 4-1 against Philly. Wilfred Nancy's your daddy, sons of Ben bitches. I was surprised you didn't bleep that last week.
I forgot.
Okay.
I didn't write it down. I'm
Oh,
not
write
going to
it
write it.
down.
I'm not going to write it
Write
down.
it
that way.
down.
I feel like that's not something that gets beeped.
I have a job.
I would, yeah, for now.
He's
They
not allowed to
can't
say the
find
B
out
word
that I
at
know
work.
the word.
If that's what gets you fired,
I
thought you were
work for a
handsy.
veterinarian.
I
used it
would
correctly.
say when you said that, and I read this, in prediction, I felt like I was more of a Jeff Goldblum than I was anything else, more of a Mars.
Yeah, with a
Yeah.
the 4-1.
I wake up, the sky is blue.
I'm a fly.
Yeah. All right, this
I'm a
next
fly.
prediction is brought to you by apartments.com. Let's go to we're going to play against New York City at home. What will the Bombers feel on a regulation size field?
You're dumb.
All right, Ben, you say, and I noticed that you
Wow. Look at this.
you were saying you're complaining for always going first, so I'll just lean into that. 2-1 Crew. Mort, you said 3-0.
Yep. I feel like it's going to be one of those things where the
Wait, we all did 3-0 or 2-1. What?
yes.
Trey
3-0 is bananas.
Trey said 2-1 Crew. Bronx is the worst borough in New York.
True.
Have you been to Staten Island?
I've never been to New York, but Bronx is the worst. Manhattan second. Queens. Queens. is pretty
Yeah,
bad.
I would
Queens has to be bad.
recommend visiting
Yeah.
Brooklyn.
and keeping
Brooklyn's gotta be bad.
my family's
New
Lineage.
York is
origin
my
out of your
favorite
mouth.
city I think I've been to.
Say
It
what?
just seems like a lot of people. It's not worth the time.
I know. I love
New York
New
City
York.
is the best city in the
New York is
world.
awesome for about 3 or 4 days, and then you get tired of being yelled at all the time, and then you would just go home.
I've heard
and-
the food's not that good.
Unless you're
Oh,
the
the
one
food is
yelling.
amazing.
You're
Yeah,
the
the
one
food is
yelling.
amazing. They have to be. Or
Trey.
they get like
Trey's just like trying to.
really
He's
because I
trying
heard
to-
it just
he's trying
sucks
to
and everybody
become-
dies.
He's trying to become a walking Viking hat. Hawes said 3-0 Crew win, and I said 3-0 Mickey Mantle, more like Mickey Mouse. You're not so fine. You lose. You receive nothing.
Yeah,
It's kind of a mashup there. Okay,
3-0.
got 2 games.
I just
Oh, yeah.
feel like
Just
they
wait
play
and
us
see.
so tough.
You just wait and see.
I feel like, yeah, you say that, and I feel like that's going to be like the ketchup bottle. Like it's going to be a bloop.
The game that we played against them when it was 1-1,
Oh, yeah. It's not a
it could have been
one-to-one game.
3-0.
Yeah.
I mean, they scored off a biff in the first minute, and then it was like,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
we
Oh,
could have
yeah.
put up 3 in that game.
First, yeah. Was it in first
I
minute?
mean,
Was it in
maybe.
First seconds?
Philly's going
We'll
to be
see.
a wild game. Philly, I just
Yeah, that's gonna. I said it earlier. Real Salt Lake vibes. We had just come off.
think we bring Quentin back?
Monterey win.
Start Stefan up top.
Exact. Yeah, they're gonna mix it up for sure. Jim Curtin will be playing left back for
I don't know.
He's probably.
I know what's back and forth on this, but I think they're now saying, "Hey, look at this and look at this table and look at the opportunity we have now to really close the gap and really putting ourselves in an amazing position." So,
Yeah, but before we played Leagues Cup, we had a loss and a tie, and it felt like we were on a bit of a skid. Because we were on a hot streak, and then it was just like, ugh. Who did we tie? Did we tie City?
Yeah.
We
and we lost to Miami, right?
Yeah, but that Miami
you're
game
talking
though.
about before?
Yeah, the Miami game though.
No,
man,
Charlotte.
remember that one? That was like a ridiculous game too. We like dominated every part of it.
Oh
we
yeah,
just couldn't.
We got 100% possession.
Yeah. So
100%.
I think that was just one of those games. So that doesn't worry me.
Yeah, we tied Charlotte and then lost to Atlanta 2-1.
All right. Well, I'm excited for the home stretch here, guys. It's what do we got? Like a couple months of league play, and then we'll be in the playoffs.
I'm exhausted from the games.
Yeah, it's been a lot. You know, I was asked recently by someone. It was my barber said something like, "Well, if you weren't doing soccer, what sport would you do a podcast for?" And I said, "Football, NFL." Because there's only 17 games or whatever. Like anyone who's doing a podcast for like a baseball team, how can you keep the games straight? Like we have had so many games.
You don't cut your own hair?
Do baseball podcasts exist?
They do.
I wouldn't know.
They do a lot of work.
Baseball exist?
Do soccer podcasts exist?
Not well. Not well.
See ya.
Listen to Aces Radio on Thursday. And until then, go Crew.
It's crew time!
Thanks everyone for joining the club. We hope you'll listen next week and every week, even in the off season, to celebrate or commiserate. We'll save you a seat. If you like this podcast, please give us 5 stars and subscribe. You can email us at upper90clubpod@gmail.com. That's upper90clubpod@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at upper90clubpod. Go Crew! It's not illegal to tell someone to themselves, is it?
No, definitely not.
Well, I got to talk to my kids then. They have some explaining to do.